also called on former Senate presidents and other legislative heads to be impartial in the matter and complement efforts geared toward amicable resolution of the issue.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
So like this, I don't save 10k. If she go pay me waiting it owe me, I go add another 10k. Like that.
Bros, what do you mean this 10k you calculate since?
FCMB Millionaire promo season 10 Orlando. Every 10k I save, fit hammer me better million. Save and hammer better for FCMB Millionaire promo season 10. Just save up to 10,000 naira for your FCMB account for 30 days, and you could get chance to win 1 million naira and other cash prize them. Promo from December 1st, 2024, reach September 30th, 2025, and they open to all the new FCMB customer them. If you don't get FCMB account, to open your own day easy, just dial *329# for your mobile phone or download FCMB mobile from your Google Play Store or Apple Store. Remember, the more you save, the more your chance to win. Terms and conditions stay. Approved by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, NLRC, and Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC.
The Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adeboyega Oyetola, CON, in collaboration with the Ballet Energy Institute of the University College, London, cordially invites critical stakeholders in the maritime industry, environment and policymakers to the African Strategic Summit on Shipping Decarbonization with the theme Ensuring a Just and Equitable Shipping Decarbonization for Africa. Date, Monday 17 to Tuesday, March 18, 2025. Venue, Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria. Time, 9 a.m. daily. Strictly by invitation. Olufemi Olorontola, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
As part of its Financial Literacy and Public Enlightenment Monday, the Bankers Committee has come up with the 2025 MSME Radio Show. The objectives is to deepen MSME understanding of the evolving changes in the subsector, business strategies for growth, and various national and international policy. Financial experts from deposit money banks, development partners, regulatory institutions, and successful entrepreneurs would arm listeners with premium financial knowledge. Tune in to the network service of Radio Nigeria between 5 to 6 p.m. every Monday. Topics to be covered are cashless policy and alternative payment channels, contactless payment options, sourcing FX, agency banking, raising capital, and cross-border trade. To find out more or register, visit www.smegrowth.ng on Facebook and Instagram at Bankers Committee, FLPE.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
The Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, NBTE, Professor Idris Bugaje, has urged the federal government and the private sector to embrace artificial intelligence as a tool for economic growth and national development. Professor Bugaje, who stated this as a guest on Radio Link, a Radio Nigeria audience participatory program, said artificial intelligence would make jobs easier and faster, thereby boosting the nation's economy.
AI is here to make life better, and we better embrace it and accept it. We better even start enjoying AI. We are the only regulatory agency that has introduced digital accreditation. We are deploying AI. Let's encourage young people to go into machine learning and other advanced programming so that they can be able to develop our own local AIs.
Professor Bugaje also clarified insinuations that artificial intelligence would phase out skills acquisition and lead to job losses.
Instead of 40 hours per week, we may end up having just 30 hours or 20 hours per week so that we can spend the remaining hours with our families. Life will be better for everybody. It's not going to lead to loss of jobs. It may only lead to more time for relaxation, more time for prayers. Life will be made easier with AI.
Another guest on the program and an economic analyst, Mr. Lateef Olaomi, urged the private sector to invest more on technical skills and modern technology to increase their productivity.
Once people begin to see the incentive in terms of what output you are bringing, not about a certificate, and you get the right reward for it, then we begin to see that paradigm shift and people now begin to go for those technical skills and don't put more value on just a certificate.
Mr. Olaomi also advised parents to encourage their children to acquire skills to make them self-reliant.
Let's talk about one of our highlights for today, and that is that the Calabar-Itu Road, a crucial road artery connecting Cross River and Akwa Ibom State, has deteriorated, causing frustration and concerns among motorists, commuters, and residents. The western state of the road has traumatized those living along the area due to many road accidents and the hampering of economic activities. And so in this special report, our correspondent Ike Chukwu Agbamwe, who visited the area, highlights the socio-economic impacts of the deplorable state of the road.
Before now, a journey between Cross River and Akwa Ibom State was less than 1 hour. Today, it takes up to 8 hours, no thanks to the prolonged deplorable state of the Calabar-Itu Highway, whose dualization plans commenced over 50 years ago and abandoned by successive administrations. Large potholes and several failed portions have left the road nearly impassable. With the rainy season around the corner, the condition of the road would best be imagined. Many, like the youth leader of Enanata Itam, Mr. Akan Nsima, and a woman representative from Nkimitam, Ms. Rita Umor, see the road as a death trap.
The road is not passing. Talking about series of accidents.
Our road now is like a death trap. On countless times we have vehicles coming from Calabar and they will fall in there with goods.
Local businesses have been hit hard as traders and commuters find it increasingly difficult to commute between Akwa Ibom and Cross River states. This has hampered economic activities and revenue generation as expressed by a worker at the Itu Local Government Council, Venerable Enefiok Esok, and President of Okuiboku Youth Assembly, Comrade Felix Edem.
People that are living there, they don't feel comfortable. People that are doing business along that route, staff cannot have access to the council because of high transportation.
From a conjunction down towards Calabar is in its worst state of decay. We are aware that successive governments have budgeted for the construction of that road, but up to today, nothing has been done. The road network is poor. It affects interstate commerce between Akwa Ibom State and Cross River State.
An indigene of one of the communities along the road, Mr. Ime Nkut, said the road began deteriorating about 20 years ago.
20 years from its construction, the road got to a point where vehicles could not pass and they had to wait for 1 to 2 hours before they can navigate. And of course, most of the spots have fallen, so much so that vehicles fall in there and causing traffic. And most so, economic activities have come to a standstill in the last 15-20 years.
All hope is not lost, as former senior special assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari, Senator Ita Enang, said that the contract for the dualization of the road has been re-awarded. Senator Enang is optimistic that both the present federal and Akwa Ibom state governments will ensure its conclusion.
The Tinubu administration is very committed to that road, and every step is being taken to make sure the contractors don't lose sight. And any contractor that left sight like the project has been re-procured at a little over 50 billion naira. The remaining part of it, because the state government has started paying compensation.
For the people, their appeal is that President Bola Tinubu should expedite action on the dualization of the road to ameliorate their suffering.
Nothing is happening on this axis from Mekam Junction to the head bridge.
We employ the federal government because state government cannot really undertake that project. It's a massive one, to come to our aid to construct the road.
I'm appealing to the government to come to our aid.
The dire state of the Calabar-Itu Highway underscores the urgent need for improved road infrastructure, especially in the Niger Delta. In Uyo, Ikechukwu, Agbamegwe, Radio Nigeria.
The Anambra State Police Command says it has taken over the scene of a fatal road accident which occurred on Saturday at Apaiweka axis of Onitsha. The accident claimed 6 lives and left a few others with various degrees of injury. A statement by the Anambra State Police Public Relations Officer, Mr. Tochukwu Ikega, says the essence of the takeover is to ensure order in the area and facilitate investigations into the incident. Eyewitness accounts revealed that the accident occurred as a result of loss of control of a truck that rammed into pedestrians with 2 tricycles and a commercial bus being loaded with passengers. The statement reveals that some of the injured persons were currently receiving treatment in the hospital, while the 66 persons have been deposited in the morgue and their relatives contacted. However, the command, while condoling with the families and friends of the deceased and the injured for a quick recovery, cautioned drivers to always do the necessary checks before plying the roads.
Next is Customs Update.
Hello and welcome to Customs News Update, where we give you the weekly activities of the Nigeria Customs Service. I'm your host, Abdul Karim Zurmi. Now for the news. On 6 March 2025, Comptroller Joy Adeldok of the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Command met with AIG Maritime Garba Yusuf in Lagos to strengthen security and operational efficiency. Both agencies committed to intelligence sharing to combat smuggling. Next up, Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeniyi was honored as a Global Diplomatic Peace Ambassador on 7th March 2025 for his humanitarian efforts. He pledged to streamline aid entry under the Customs Cares Initiative, while Global Diplomatic Peace Ambassador President Jose Rodriguez highlighted SME support projects. Moving on, following a disagreement with FAN at the Murtala Mohammed Airport Command natural shed on 6 March 2025, the Nigeria Customs Service reaffirmed interagency collaboration and compliance with the WCO's SAFE framework. CGC Adewale Adeniyi urged cooperation for smooth trade operations. Next up, COA celebrated International Women's Day on 8 March 2025 in Abuja, focusing on gender equality. Discussions covered financial independence, healthcare, and leadership, with calls for continuous empowerment efforts. The Nigeria Customs Service launched the automated Transire process on 10th March 2025 to streamline trade, enhance tracking, and improve revenue collection. A pilot phase will incorporate stakeholder feedback before full rollout. Next, on 10th March 2025, Ogunwan Area Command Comptroller Mohammed Shuaibu met with traditional rulers and security agencies to strengthen anti-smuggling measures. Intelligence sharing and strategic security efforts were emphasized. Next up, Tinkan Island Port Command seized illicit drugs worth 8 billion naira, falsely declared as auto parts, on 10th March 2025. Comptroller Frank Onyeka credited intelligence and interagency cooperation for the bust, reinforcing Nigeria Customs Service's zero tolerance for smuggling. Now in sports, on 17th March 2025, the National Sports Commission thanked the Nigeria Customs Service for supporting Nigeria's successful bid to host the 2025 Women's African Club Volleyball Championship in Abuja. NSCDG Bukola Olopadi commended the Nigeria Customs Service for covering bidding fees. Next, during a visit from Niger State Governor Umar Bago on 12th March 2025, CGC Bashir Adewale Adeniyi pledged Nigeria Customs Service support for border security and agricultural development, discussing taxation policies and the release of seized farming equipment to aid farmers. Moving on 13th March 2025, the Nigeria Customs Service intercepted $1.1 million and 135,900 Saudi riyals in undeclared cash in Kano Airport. The funds, hidden in palm date fruits, were seized, and the suspect was handed over to the EFCC, leading to a conviction and forfeiture. That's all for the week, as produced by Titus Omajili, edited by Abdullahi Meoda, and sound mixed by Kabir Nonfodio. I am Abdul Karim Zermi. Thanks for listening.
The excessive heat conditions being experienced in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, has become a source of concern to the residents and health experts. Khalid Dika went around the streets of Lafia metropolis to feel the pulse of the residents on the extreme hot weather and examines its health implications.
The reality of the predictions by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET over the excessive heat occasioned by the depletion of the ozone layer, also referred to as climate change, is taking a toll on a cross-section of residents in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital. This is evident on the streets and other public places in the metropolis, where residents are sighted fanning themselves with handmade fans, others scrubbing their faces with handkerchief, motorcycle riders, popularly known as Okada riders, taking refuge under the shade of trees, children and adults rubbing powder on their skins to have a soothing experience. Ahmed Omar and Mrs. Mercy Joshua told Radio Nigeria that they have adopted coping mechanism by taking their bath regularly and sleeping under the fan to cushion the effects of the scorching heat.
So my children are putting powder. You see small rashes.
Already prepared for it. We have a solar fan. The area that I live, there is constant light. And in absence of light, we soak our towel in water and use it to cover our body.
Mrs. Grace Dixon, a pregnant woman, said she finds it very difficult to sleep due to the excessive heat because of her condition, coupled with the regular power outage.
There's no light. You can't use your fan, so you keep calling on bed.
For Hajia Sefia Ahmed and Mariam Arikia, they prefer to sleep outside with their children at night to safeguard against rashes on the skin that causes a lot of discomfort. On the health implications of the hot weather, Dr. Magnus Oswagu of Family Medicine Department, Federal University of Lafayette Teaching Hospital, explained that excessive heat can cause heat rashes, heat cramps, heat stroke, cognitive impairments, and dehydration due to excessive loss of fluid.
Some certain disease conditions are also potentiated during this heat period, including respiratory tract infections. The issue of needing kidney stone is very common during this heat period because of loss of too much water from the body. And therefore, if one does not take time to really replace fluid adequately, it is going to lead to the person developing kidney stone or bladder stone or any of the renal stones.
Dr. Oswagu advised Nigerians to drink plenty water, maintain cross ventilation, and wear simple clothes that are not black in color. In Lafia, Kalu Idika Radio Nigeria.
Many thanks, Kalu. I think we're suffering the same thing. I mean, my own bottle of water here, but whether it's really helping is what I don't know. All right, 60 solar boreholes and 300 hand pumps are being rehabilitated in Jos North and Jos South local government areas of Plateau State. At the commencement in Tudunwada area of Jos North local government area, the State Commissioner for Water Resources and Energy, Mr. Bashir Lawandi Dete, said it was meant to address the water challenges in the area. Josiah Buzin reports that the intervention was a collaboration on energy, the Plateau Municipal Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, PLAMWASA, and the transfer of appropriate sustainable technology and expertise.
Water, they say, is life. The people of the densely populated Tudunwada community and other communities in Jos North and Jos South local government areas have been battling with this challenge. They wake up as early as 4 a.m. and walk long distances to the rocks, where they make long queues to scoop water emerging from the rocks. The State Commissioner for Water Resources and Energy, Bashir Lawandi Dati, said this is the second phase, as they have already intervened in 5 local government areas.
We are not focusing on just few local governments. We are focusing for all the states. When we finish our project, water will be running in every house.
Chairman Jos North local government area, Mr. J.K. Chris, applauded the gesture considering the metropolitan status of his local government area.
It has not been a highly metropolitan local government with a lot of population of residents. By that reason, there is high demand for water.
He said he was collaborating with other agencies in the water sector to extend reticulation to the communities springing up in the local government. The General Manager of the Plantation Agency, Davis Jacobs, said Governor Caleb Budfang gave them a marching order to ensure water supply in those communities.
Because it is no longer feasible that AFD is going to make water provision by next year, then His Excellency approved the use of unallocated funds for us to provide a quick wins for the people of Jos North and Jos South to start getting water, pending the time that AFD will conclude all their protocols for people to have sustainable water.
The country director, transfer of appropriate sustainable technology and expertise, TASTE, Mr. Nuhichai, assured that they would deliver. Kefas, the girl who spoke on behalf of the youth, painted a picture of the situation before the intervention.
As early as 3 a.m. That's how bad it is. The source is under the ground. You have to wait, and then you make lines. The water is coming out, then you fetch from there, which is unhealthy.
The traditional institution and the women applauded the state government and other partners for the project and assured that the facility, when completed, will be maintained. From Jos, Josiah Buzun, Radio Nigeria.
African time is a local parenthesis, and it's a term used to refer to lateness to events or in their commencement. The concept, as worrisome as it is, seems to have been accepted as a norm in Africa, notably in the Nigerian society. In this special report, correspondent Ive Gulu examines the phenomenon of African time and its impact on socioeconomic life.
Time is one of the most important resources in life that once lost may not be regained. A popular saying, "Time waits for no one," refers to its fleeting nature. However, the daily lives of Nigerians seem to suggest the opposite, as people act in a manner that suggests there is always time. It has since become a norm for people to show up late at functions or important appointments, even when their roles are critical to the success. Sadly, event planners are also caught up in the web as they often delay commencement. In other climes, lateness by a minute or two may not be tolerated, and violators risk being shut out, called out, or made to apologize. In Nigeria, however, people show up late at events, or such events get delayed and no one is held accountable. What do people think about African time?
The concept of African time has affected so many of us in our work. It has cost me a lot. I think we need to have a change.
It's normal for Africans. They don't really care about time. They just like going to an event when the event is ongoing. It's not really a good culture.
This thing about African time is not making any sense, because if I say meet me by this time, you're supposed to come and meet me by this time, so that I'll be able to do what I want to do ahead of time.
The National Orientation Agency, NOA, is the body saddled with the mandate of educating Nigerians on the right values and standards of behavior. What has it done to check the menace of African time, which often serves as a dent on the country's image? Kaneng Horo is the NOA director in Plateau State.
I don't know why this African time concept has continued to grow amongst us in spite of the several preachings, the conscientization to Nigerians that we do as an agency. We should.
Sadly, government agencies and functionaries are often guilty of this practice, as events do get delayed due to their late arrival. Journalists, on their part, have often grumbled at how long they have to wait for events to commence, which impedes the delivery of their news content. A journalist, Omotayo Adetunji, said she missed her deadline to late commencement of an event.
By the time they start, you are tired already. And a story that is supposed to go on air that day, it fails to go on air, and it becomes a stale story.
People wake up every day with schedules and plans to execute, but are trapped at functions that start late. According to a public affairs analyst, Victor Kuchili, African time has socio-economic implications as it leads to loss of productive hours.
We have created that misconception that the sign of a big man is to come late, and it's counterproductive. That has returned. Our capacity.
Christians wọ́n ti challenge NBC kó sí dáhùn sọ èyí tí ó sì implement ẹ̀ òfin làwọn máa tẹ̀lé à ní sọ pé bóyá torí ìdíní ẹ̀rẹ̀ ń sọ bí ẹni pé ẹ̀ mọ òfin. mi sọ kí mi mọ òfin. ẹ̀ nà sáwọn ṣe láwọn tọrọ kan wọ́n ti challenge NBC. ọyẹ ní sùúrù tó bá mú ìwé wá nísìnyí báyìí sáwọn tí lọ́rọ̀ kan ni wọ́n bá wa lọ dáhùn. Ẹ̀yin as presenter ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ gbà. ẹ máa mute kínní ni ẹ ní sí ẹ máa mute nínú. Ìfèdèfọ̀ ní ìsìn báyìí kò belong sí language kan o language ní Arabic o it's just like bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe program Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ tó sọ English language ìlú wo ni ṣé ó ní record ni at least Arabic ní ìsìn ó ní textbook náà kí ni textbook ti ìfèdèfọ̀ wo lẹ ní so nǹkan tí wọ́n ń sọ nìyẹn. It's part of Christianity. That is part of Christianity. Adema. But NBC sọ fún wọn gbà. NBC nígbà tí wọ́n challenge NBC pé it's part of Kinikan. Wọ́n wá sọ pé speaking in tongue. Pé ibi kan tí wọ́n ti lè ṣe speaking in tongue. When there is prayer. Pé ẹnìkan máa ń pray tó ń ṣe táwọn ń ṣe àmì lọ́wọ́ tó bá speak in tongue láàrin ẹ̀. Kò sí pé mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n ń ṣèwàásù ó wá speak in tongue. So bí wọ́n ṣe sọ nìyẹn. Kódà ẹ máa wọnú ṣẹ̀gàndógó tá à ń ṣe gan. Lára rules wọn fún wa ni pé ẹ bá edit ṣẹ̀gàndógó lọ́wọ́ tó bá ṣe pé bàbá yẹn ń pray lọ́wọ́ tó bá speak in tongue ẹ filẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ṣe pé ó kàn ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni ẹ yọ. So bó ṣe wà nìyẹn. Ọ̀dà tó bá ṣe kọ́ bá sanjọ́ àbí Tinubu ní kú lọ́wọ́ tẹ̀sí live program lọ́sẹ̀ ìbílẹ̀. Ìbò máa ní nǹkan tẹ́ máa ṣe sí. So ìtí mò ń sọ nìyẹn.
Nigeria PCN have been given the mandate to ensure they coordinate the process centers in Aba, Onitsha, Lagos and Kano. The one for Kano has been built and it is being monitored.
Foreign news. Well, that report was by Julia Kong, actually.
Of course.
Foreign news. Planes carrying more than 200 Venezuelans deported by the U.S. have landed in El Salvador hours after a U.S. judge ordered the Trump administration not to do so. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele wrote on social media that 238 members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua had arrived, along with 23 members of the international MS-13 gang. The arrival in the Central African nation came after a federal judge blocked U.S. President Donald Trump from invoking a centuries-old wartime law to justify the deportations. The move by the U.S. to send alleged criminals from other countries to El Salvador was an arrangement U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio previously called the most unprecedented and extraordinary migratory agreement anywhere in the world.
And to sports now, Eniola Bolaji shines again at para-badminton outing in Spain, just as Remo Stars maintain leadership in Nigeria top flight football. For details of these and more, over now to Ndubueze Chidoka.
Good morning and welcome. World number 2, Eniola Bolaji, has solidified her dominance in para-badminton SL3 by winning her second medal in 2 weeks. The Paralympic bronze medalist yesterday triumphed over Turkey's Halime Yildiz 2-0, 21-7, 21-10 in the women's final at the Spanish Para-Badminton International 2025 in Toledo, Spain. At the competition, Eniola defeated first India's Sanjana Kumari 2-0, 21-15, 21-8 in the second round. The multiple African champion then dispatched Ukraine's Oksana Kozuba 2-0, 21-16, 21-4 in the semi-final before the victory over Turkey's Halime Yildiz in the final. An elected president of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, Francis Obi, praised Eniola Bolaji's resilience and continued record-breaking achievements in the para-badminton.
This is a moment of joy for Nigeria. Eniola has put up another superlative performance. With this victory, she has stamped her authority, the para-badminton world, and has sent a strong message out. She has made it clear to everybody that she has come to stay.
Eniola won gold medal at the 2025 Spanish Para-Badminton International 2 in Victoria last week. The president of the Nigeria Olympic Committee, Engineer Habu Gumel, has been re-elected unopposed as the Treasurer General of the African Olympic Body at its General Assembly in Algiers. The African Olympic Body is known officially as the Association of National Olympic Committee of Africa, ANOCA. At the General Assembly, Gumel was confirmed in his role without opposition. This marks another term of 4 years for Engineer Gumel in his capacity as the Treasurer General. This is a demonstration of trust and confidence placed in his leadership by the members of ANOCA, drawn from mainly the presidents of the Olympic movement in the continent. Alongside Gumel, the Algerian president of ANOCA, Mustafa Beraf, was also re-elected unopposed. The assembly was rounded up with a special award ceremony with Renan Wakama, Nigeria's The Tigers coach to the 2024 Paris Olympics, being one of the recipients. She was adjudged as the best African coach at the Olympics by ANOCA. Remo Stars Football Club moved closer to our first ever league title, courtesy of our 2-0 victory over visiting Heartland of Owerri in the Nigeria Premier Football League, NPFL. The Kenneth Club still maintaining their 8-point advantage over second place Rivers United, who picked up the only away win in matches played yesterday, following a 2-1 success at El Kanemi Warriors in Maiduguri. Nasarawa United held Kalupilas to a 1-1 draw in Kano, while last-minute equalizer denied Enyimba International of Aba an away win against Ikorodu City as their game finished 2-2. Bayelsa United at home pipped Nobi Stars 1-0. Akwa United at home humbled the Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan 2-0, just as Abia Warriors tamed Bender Insurance 1-0 in Umuahia. At the Cathedral on Saturday, Rangers International trashed Wara United 3-0. One of the goal scorers and man of the match, Chidozie Okorie, is pleased to have broken his barren spell.
I feel very happy. Although it's been long, I have scored, but thank God for today. It came with a goal and an assist.
Week 29 games will be concluded today with Sunshine Stars hosting Plateau United in Akure. On the foreign scene, Newcastle United defeated Liverpool 2-1 to emerge champions of the Carabao Cup in the final decided yesterday. A goal in each half ensured the Magpies beat their fellow Premier League rivals to win their first major domestic trophy in 70 years.
It's a test. It's inside. There's a goal. They won't rule that one out. Alexander is Newcastle United.
Defeat for Liverpool comes days after being eliminated from the UEFA Champions League by Paris Saint-Germain. In the English Premier League, Arsenal returned to winning ways following a 1-0 victory over Chelsea. The result caught Liverpool's lead at the top of the table to 12 points. Fulham, parading two Nigerians, Alex Iwobi and Kevin Bassey, were 2-0 better than Tottenham Hotspur. And that's it on sports for this morning. I am Ndubueze Chidoka.
Significance of the vote of confidence in Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senate President, is our spotlight today. It is written by Eseme Eyibo, his special advisor, media publicity and spokesperson for the President of the Senate.
The vote of confidence passed by the Nigerian Senate on the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, is a significant development, particularly amidst the current unfolding events within the upper legislative chamber of the National Assembly. This resolution was unanimously passed during the last Thursday's plenary, following a motion moved under Orders 40 and 51 by the Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele from Ekiti Central, and seconded by the Deputy Minority Leader, Olanire Oyewumi from Osun West. This motion underscores the need for clarity, adherence to legislative rules, and a renewed focus on governance. The decision came just 48 hours after the suspended chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and NGOs, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, addressed the Interparliamentary Union IPU in New York, USA, claiming that her suspension resulted from her allegations of sexual harassment against Senator Akpabio. However, the senators urged Nigerians not to let the allegations distract them from appreciating the core legislative duties of the National Assembly. The vote of confidence not only reflects the Senate's unity and solidarity with Senator Akpabio, but also underscores its commitment to preserve the integrity of the institution. This overwhelming support for the Senate leadership comes as no surprise to many who have closely followed Senator Akpabio's leadership since his assumption of office. Under his stewardship, for the first time in the annals of history of the Senate, women have been appointed as chairpersons of Grade A committees, a clear demonstration of the Senate's gender sensitivity. Furthermore, after years of delay, the 10th Senate has successfully restored Nigeria's budget cycle to January to December schedule, facilitating more effective implementation and oversights. The Senate has also received praises for the matured manner in which it handled the controversies surrounding the tax reform bills introduced by the executive. Additionally, contrary to earlier predictions that the 10th Senate will serve as a rubber stamp to the executive, the Senate, under Senator Godswill Akpabio's leadership, has upheld the principle of separation of powers while maintaining a constructive working relationship with the executive. In the screening of the ministerial nominees, the Senate jettisoned the usual take-a-bow-and-go approach, ensuring all nominees underwent thorough scrutiny. It was through this process that 3 key ministerial nominees were dropped from the list. In another instance, the Senate declined the request from the President to approve the sending of troops to the Niger Republic against the military junta that ousted the democratically elected government. This decision helped to prevent potential loss of lives and property. The economic hardship caused by the withdrawal of the fuel subsidy by the beginning of the current administration led to widespread distress amongst Nigerians, with long queues at petrol stations and severe shortages of petroleum products. In response, the 10th Senate conducted an oversight visit to the Dangote refinery, which sparked concerns regarding the management of Nigeria's oil and gas resources. This prompted the Senate leadership to establish an ad hoc committee to investigate these activities and recommend necessary legislative actions. This led to a presidential directive requiring the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPCL) to sell crude oil to local refineries in Naira. As a result, Dangote refinery has reduced its pump price, and 2 previously idle refineries have resumed operations. Today, Nigerians are beginning to experience relief. Senator Akpabio's transformative leadership as chairman of the 10th National Assembly has also elevated Nigeria's presence in international legislative diplomacy. In October 2023, Senator Godswill Akpabio was elected to the Executive Committee of the Interparliamentary Union IPU during its 147th summit in Luanda, Angola, an achievement the country never attained in 60 years. By reaffirming their support for Senator Akpabio, the senators are sending a strong message that they will not be swayed by any unfounded allegations against the Senate leadership. Instead, they have chosen to stand behind their leader, demonstrating their commitment to stability and continuity in Nigeria's legislature.
The spotlight on significance of the vote of confidence in Senator Godswill Akpabio as Senate President was written by SMA Yibo and presented by Olayemi Daniel.
Next is Cyberscope. It's, bringing you trend-shaping conversations across Nigeria's social media space. And we'll begin with this one. 30 Days Rant Challenge is gaining momentum on X, with Nigerian youths voicing their frustrations over economic hardships, unemployment, and other pressing issues. While many of them are using the hashtag to highlight their struggles, hoping that sustained online activism will push the government to action. While some see the movement as a wake-up call for leadership, others argue that social media protests rarely lead to real change. However, the challenge continues to shape conversations about youth empowerment and government accountability in our dear country, Nigeria.
And talking about youths, this one about the National Youth Service Corps still under intense scrutiny following allegations that officials threatened a corps member for speaking against economic hardship is still, of course, getting people to talk. The corps member claimed she received intimidating messages from NYSC officials and she was also reprimanded. The incident has sparked outrage on X, with citizens condemning the alleged intimidation and defending the corps member's right to free speech. Many are calling for the NYSC to respect corps members' rights and address the broader challenges they face during their service year.
All right, then let's see what's happening in the world of sports. Newcastle United is trending after ending a 70-year trophy drought. Newcastle defeated Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final, marking their first major trophy win in decades. Excited Newcastle fans are flooding social media with celebrations, while frustrated Liverpool supporters are urging their team to bounce back. The match has sparked intense debates among football lovers, with many praising Newcastle's resilience. I think that should be all for now on Cyberscope, and we urge you to stay connected to Radio Nigeria and join the conversation using hashtag Cyberscope for more updates. And this was compiled by Omolola Amin. And next is newspaper headlines. You have many of them in front of us. And
Blueprint, that's what we begin with. Banner headline, $1.7 billion liabilities by 45 oil companies. Reps recover 28.7 billion naira from Chorus Energy and Seplat Rider, 199.3 million of 6.8 billion naira excessive charges from banks too. Above the nameplate, future now bright under Tinubu with reduction in fuel and food prices. Yakase, don't allow emotions dictate your decisions. Lamido tells El Rufai. Riders blast ex-governor over call for opposition to join PDP and go and take up teaching job. APC chieftain tells El Rufai. Ramadan, Nua reaffirms commitment to national unity and civic responsibility. I think that's it for Blueprint.
All right, Nigerian pilot, the bold one here says, Wike's disrespect for South-South unacceptable. Page 4 has the story. Pandef react to FCT minister's media chat, says his outburst unacceptable. Regrets that Wike would exhibit such brazen disrespect towards prominent South people. That's his attitude. Explains his refusal to engage with peace committee set up by Pandef. Asks Tinubu to call Wike to order. Ask him to distract retracts his statement, respect eminent Nigerians. And of course, all details, page 4. Refs Committee recovers 28.7 billion naira debt from 2 oil companies. Page 4 has a story. This not good story. 6 die after truck rams into vehicles. Pedestrians in Onitsha. Page 7 has the story. Deaths from diphtheria now over 1,300. That's according to NCDC. Page 6 has that one. Military neutralized 74 terrorists in last operation. Page 9 has the story. Prices of onions, beans, others crash in FCT and environs. Page 6 has that one. And police fuel abduction of passengers on Kogi Highway. That's the Nigerian pilots today.
Okay, we'll go to the market again.
I will go to the market.
Daily Trust. Banner headline: Why Niger is facing deep fuel crisis. Refinery chief, rider, smuggling surges along border communities. That's it for, apart from the fact that we have this set of pictures. IGP launches Zulum's distribution of 110 patrol vans, 500 motorcycles, 280 houses to police and others. Well, that's going on in Borno State.
The Vanguard has this one, the bold one. Global trade war, Naira value depreciates amid forex outflows. It has several riders. Check them out. Page 19 has the gist. Strain disease kills 5 Kebbi Varsity students. Page 46 has that one. We won't follow Erufai to SDP. That's according to Lamido. Page 9 has that one. And you got this one. Serap Suza Akpabio over Senator Akpoti Udwanga's suspension. Page 10 has that one. That's the Vanguard today.
Leadership. Well, still talking about Lamido and Erufai, but I won't read that again. About the nameplate, ahead of 2027, Tinubu firms grip on APC. May retain Ganduje's NWC. Has 3 riders, state excos likely to stay put, automatic tickets for president and NAS lawmakers, governors to decide state assembly slots. That's it for leadership.
And the Guardian, I'll take just one. NAFDAC seizes over 100 truckloads of unsafe drugs and narcotics. Page 7 has the gist. That's the Guardian today. And that's it on newspaper headlines. Weather reports: light dust haze is anticipated over the northern region with slim chances of localized thunderstorms over parts of southern Taraba during the afternoon and evening period. Sunny skies with patches of clouds are expected over the north central region with chances of isolated thunderstorms over parts of the federal capital territory. We pray it comes indeed. And of course, Benue people will experience same. Kogi State also experience same during the afternoon and evening hours. In the southern region, cloudy skies with spells of sunshine are anticipated over the region with prospects of afternoon and evening thunderstorms expected over parts of Anambra, Imo, Edo, Ebonyi, Ondo, Ekiti, Delta, Rivers, Bayelsa, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom, and not forgetting Lagos State too.
All right, to end the news, a recap of our major stories. Nigeria and Cuba to strengthen bilateral relations on key sectors of the economy. Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, is to adopt public-private partnerships as a key priority in its new strategic blueprint to deliver basic education services in the country. Our correspondent examined the deteriorating state of Calabar-Itu Road in Cross Rivers, and we also reported that planes carrying more than 200 Venezuelans deported by the U.S. has landed in El Salvador hours after a U.S. judge ordered the Trump administration not to do so.
That's the news, edited by Stanley Wosu and the production team. My colleague has been
Fubara Peppel. Many thanks for listening.
And I'm Harriet Adams. Have a productive week.
Rárá má gbé kúrò, ọmọ yìí má gbé kúrò, mo ní o má gbé kúrò, máa ìdíyà má gbé kúrò, jọ̀jọ̀ gbọ́. Amúlùdùn FM, òun mo fẹ́ gbọ́. Bóyá nínú ilé ni o, tàbí níbi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ni àwẹ̀. Amúlùdùn FM, òun mo fẹ́ gbọ́. Moniya láwa 99.1. Amúlùdùn FM, òun mo fẹ́ gbọ́. Ṣẹ́ni wípé ó ta wọ́n yọ ò gédégbé. Ó ta wọ́n yọ ò. Amúlùdùn yìí ta wọ́n yọ. Ó ta wọ́n yọ. Òun ló lè polówó ọjà káyé gbọ́. Ó ta wọ́n yọ. Ẹ wò bó ti ń ṣá wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́. Ó ta wọ́n yọ. Ààrẹ má gbé kúrò jọ ṣùgbọ́n. Má gbé kúrò. Àkílẹ̀ wí. Amúlùdùn FM làwa fẹ́ máa gbọ́.
Ibikíbi lákòókò yóò. Ìmọ̀ ní àláwà ń bàdàn. 99.1 àwa la jẹ́ number 1 bá ń jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ bó ti ṣe ń lọ pẹ̀lú àwọn ètò tó táwọn yọ àtàwọn ìròyìn tó fọgbọ́n yọ àti ìpolówó ọjà tó mú ní ìta lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ àwa la nìyẹn ibikíbi lákòókò yó rédíò Amúlùdùn láyé ń bá kétékété Moniya láwa ń bàdàn rédíò Amúlùdùn láyé ń bá kétékété.
Amúlùdùn FM 99.1 ní Moniya ń bàdàn ló máa ń múnú àwa dùn.
ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ ẹ̀ ń gẹ̀yìndé ipa tí ẹ ń kó ṣe ràn wá pa ọmọdé ó kájí ó ṣe ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ ẹ̀ ń gẹ̀yìndé ipa tí ẹ ń kó ṣe ràn wá pa ọmọdé ó kájí ó ṣe ẹni lórí lórí ń bọ̀ o. ẹ̀sùn wọn bí káwá pàlàbà rí mi ọ̀rọ̀ lórí sùúrù lábẹ́ wí lọ́mọdé lágbà ẹ̀ wá gba ìdí kọ́kọ́ orin tuntun. èsì lórí bàtàkùn.
láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò nàìjíríà ẹkùn ìbàdàn ètò tí ọpọ́n sùkàn báyìí ni lórí ọ̀dàn pẹ̀lú tèmítọ́pẹ́ adé èkó àti àwọn ikọ̀ rẹ̀ ẹ má bá wa kálọ.
yá náà nìyẹn ó yá o ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn ó yá o ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbára kásídá rẹ̀ kíníkíní ọ̀hún ètò bàbá ètò tó kí ń gbákun tó kù yẹbẹyẹbẹ ètò tó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ ètò tí ò lẹ́jà ń bá kan nínú tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ètò ìròyìn eré ìdárayá èyí tó débẹ̀ tó gbabẹ̀ tó kọjá abẹ lọ ọ̀yá ẹ filẹ̀ síbẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kájọ kọlùdò ètò ọ̀hún láàárọ̀ yìí ètò wo ni mò ń polongo ètò wo ni mò ń palánsẹ́ ètò wo ni mò ń pariwo bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe tó yín ètò wa lórí ọ̀dàn bó bá ti dóde ó ti dóde náà nìyẹn ọ̀yá gbogbo yín pátápátá tẹ wà nílé ara gbogbo yín pátápátá tẹ wà nílé ajérò gbogbo yín pátápátá tẹ wà nílé ọwárọ̀gbọ́ àga ẹ̀yà mọ́ta tẹ̀lé ọ̀yá ẹ jáde sójúde gbàgede láàárọ̀ yìí ẹ tún jẹ́ kájọ ṣeré ọ̀hún bí eré ìdárayá ká fẹnu ṣe ká fẹsẹ̀ ṣe ká fọwọ́ ṣe ká tún fi kíní ọ̀hún ká tún fi ṣe kó dùn mọ́ra yín dáadáa. ẹ kú ojúmọ́ gbogbo bíkíbi tẹ́ bá ti láǹfààní láti máa gbọ́ mi lórí ètò yín ètò wa lórí ọ̀dàn fújàrọ̀ tòní. jẹ́ ojúmọ́ owó ojúmọ́ ọmọ ojúmọ́ ẹ̀kú tí ṣe balẹ̀ tọrọ ló mọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí. bá a ti máa wáre o tẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn wa dáadáa dọ́ba gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa pátápátá ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè gbogbo àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè. bàbá ń sọ nípa ìpínlẹ̀ èkìtì bàbá ń sọ nípa ìpínlẹ̀ ondo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀ṣun ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ ògùn ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ èkó ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ tí a ti à ń bí níbi tá a wà gẹ́gẹ́ tá a ti ń gbéra gadabúyọ gbogbo àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ wọ̀nyí náà lọ jẹ́ wípé a ti máa ń fọn kíní ọ̀hún káàkiri àgbáyé. gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀ṣun ẹ kú ojúmọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò náà lákọ̀tún. ọ̀yá o ètò lórí ọ̀dàn ó ti gbìnàyà ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. ẹ jẹ́ kájọ kọ́lùdó rẹ̀ kájọ gbádùn ara wa dáadáa dọ́ba láàárọ̀ tòní. tèmi tó pé adé èkó adé lagos ní kí n láàárọ̀ tòní. ó ní ó yá o ẹ mú rákẹ́ẹ̀tì yín ó yá o ẹ mú báàtì yín bí tébù chinese lẹ́mọ̀ ọ́ gbá ni ó yá ẹ̀yin náà ẹ kó síbùtù yín. ẹ jẹ́ kájọ gbéra wá rìn láàárọ̀ yìí bó sì jẹ́ pé marathon lẹ́mọ̀ ọ́ sá. ó yá ẹ jẹ́ kájọ sá eré ọ̀hún kó yẹ wá rí láàárọ̀ yìí kó yẹ wá kó mọ́ yẹ̀ ẹ́ lẹ̀. tèmi tó pé adé èkó ló kọ mi ló kọ bàbá orogun náà dé bàbá ẹlẹ́nu máyì bàbá lówó máyò ló kọ mọ́dúpọ̀ látúbọ̀sún ìyàwó mẹ́sì. ó yẹ ẹ mọ lọ ní tààràtà lọ sórí ìkànnì tayélujára ti facebook live wa níbẹ̀ yẹn lẹ máa ti gbọ́ wa gbádùn dáadáa láàárọ̀ yìí torí pé bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń gbọ́ wa ẹ tún máa láǹfààní láti wò wá ní kétékété káàkiri àgbáyé. premier fm 93.5 ní kẹtẹ ẹ bẹ̀ bó bá sì jẹ́ ìkànnì iléeṣẹ́ rédíò tẹ́ ti ń gbọ́ wa yẹn ni láǹfààní láti tẹ̀ ẹ́ sójú ẹ̀ náà síbẹ̀ kẹ́lẹ́ bá máa gbọ́ wa ní kétékété lórí ọ̀dàn lápètò ọ̀hún ibi tá a ti máa túlẹ̀ tá a ti máa tú ṣà tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ká ṣàríyànjiyàn tó nítumọ̀ dáadáa lédè yorùbá pọ́nbélé tẹ́ máa ń gbádùn dáadáa orí ètò lórí ọ̀dàn lẹ́ẹ̀ ti gbọ́ àríyànjiyàn ọ̀rọ̀ eré ìdárayá ébà ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù manchester united ni wọ́n ti gbéra tọ́nù ni àbí ọkọ̀ ti bọ́ọ̀rù mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wọn padà dé níparí sísìn yìí o torí lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yóò dàbí pé wọ́n ti jí o ó dàbí pé kinní ọ̀hún ti ń yí amórímù bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù barcelona àti ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù real madrid lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n jẹ́wọ́ wípé ta lẹ̀gbọ́n ìyẹn nínú àwọn méjèèjì nítorí pé lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù barcelona àti atletico madrid àwọn ni ọjọ́ kojú ara wọn lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ o ìyẹn lánàá ìfigagbága yẹn ní agbára gan ni ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù atletico madrid ló kọ́ sọ méjì wọnú àwọn barcelona wọ́n gbá nípele àkọ́kọ́ wọn nò ní ìfigagbága yẹn bá dé ọwọ́ kejì ẹ̀ náà ní kó ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù barcelona ni wọ́n ti ń dá padà lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ̀jẹ̀jì o ṣé wá jẹ́ pé lẹ́yìn ọ̀rẹ́yìn ó fi jẹ́ pé ikú ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù barcelona àwọn náà lọ padà gbẹ̀yẹ ìfigagbága ọ̀hún ó ní agbára pọ̀ lánàá a máa sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ lórí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí mohammed salah wọ́n ti fún ní player of the month o ẹgbọ́sọ yẹ sófì tiẹ̀. tá a bá wá padà wálé orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà wọ́n ga pọ̀ fún ipò ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù shooting stars ẹ̀kọ́ òṣojú mímú fún wọn o wọ́n lọ sókè ìta wọ́n tún lọ jẹ̀yà ṣé bí ipò ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù shooting stars yìí ṣé báwọn náà lọ wà lórí òkè téńté tá a bá sọ pé ipò kejì wọ́n wọ ipò kejì láàrin ìgbà kan lórí àtẹ tábìlì líìgì tilẹ̀ wa npfl ni mò ń sọ ṣùgbọ́n lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí ipò karùn-ún kọ́ ni shooting stars wá wà báyìí ìkẹfà wọn wà odúpọ̀ látúbọ̀sún ni kọ̀sítọ́dì àwọn òní onímọ̀ bá wọn kà á lẹ̀ ó ń tẹ̀lé wọn gbágbágbá ni ipò kẹfà ní ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Shooting Stars wà báyẹn gbọ́ kí ló dé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Shooting Stars gbogbo ẹ̀yin tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tẹ́ fẹ́ràn ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Shooting Stars dáadáa Òrógúndádé a máa sọ alọ́rọ̀ mi èkọjú àdúrà ní ká tún máa bá wọn gbà báyìí ni nígbà ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù ti wà nípò kejì níbẹ̀ láàrin ìkódà láàrin sísìn lọ́dún ìgbà wọn sì wà nípò kejì àtọwáwí ká tó fọ̀ wọ́n ti bọ́ sí ipò kẹfà ló dé ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù nílẹ̀ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ní ìsìn tá a bá rí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù tí wọ́n wà nípò kejì ipò kẹfà ipò kejì ipò kínní tí wọ́n bá lọ sí òkè ìta tí wọ́n bá lọ gbá èwe bíi kí wọ́n mú dúró padà wálé àbí kí wọ́n gbá wíní padà wálé ṣùgbọ́n torílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà èmi ti fura sí pé ó dàbí pé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o kí ló dé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gan-an ẹ jẹ́ ti kó ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Shooting Stars à ń bọ̀ lórí yẹn. ó yá náà ẹ jẹ́ kí n já sí ìròyìn eléyìí kó tó di pé wọ́n máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn ìròyìn náà ní sàn-sàn. fáàrà lásán ni mò ń fi àwọn yẹn ṣe fún yín kẹ́lẹ́ bá mọ gbogbo àwọn ibi tá a dé lórí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí ni. lórí ọ̀dàn lètò ọ̀hún ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Flamingo àwọn Flamingo sì ti wá àwọn obìnrin tí ọjọ́ orí wọn lọ́jọ́ wípé ọdún mẹ́tàdínlógún wọ́n dá 17 wá lọ́jọ́ pé wọ́n ṣe dáadáa báyìí o wọ́n fàgbà hàn ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù akẹgbẹ́ wọn tó ilẹ̀-èdè South Africa lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yí báyìí wọ́n ti fàgbà hàn tó sì jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti pegedé láti lọ gbá final round qualifying race wọn eléyìí tó yẹ pé ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Flamingo tí a ń gbá lọ́wọ́ o Botswana àbí orílẹ̀-èdè Algeria ló jẹ́ pé wọ́n kojú báyìí tó bá doṣù tó ń bọ̀ wọ́n fàgbà ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù orílẹ̀-èdè South Africa wọ́n bá wo aggregate wọn nítorí pé ṣáájú ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù wa náà ló fàgbà hàn ìyẹn ní ẹsẹ̀ àkọ́kọ́ ìfigagbága wọn lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n tún gbá kẹ́yìn báyìí tó jẹ́ ẹsẹ̀ kejì ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù wa tó orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà náà ló tún fàgbà hàn àwọn South Africa o aggregate wọn jẹ́ 5-2 àwọn Flamingo wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fàgbà ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù tó ilẹ̀-èdè South Africa. látàpá tibẹ̀ yẹn ẹgbẹ́ròyìn ẹ̀ṣẹ́ kíkan yìí wọ́n máa ń sọ wọ́n ní ṣébi téèyàn ti sọ wípé ó dàárọ̀ ṣó tún yẹ kéèyàn tún kí wọn pọ́ ẹ̀ka alẹ́. púpọ̀ jẹ́ pé Tyson Fury ṣe mọ̀ dáadáa ó ń kàn ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ó ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ wípé ó mọ̀ ti fẹ̀yìntì lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ́ kíkan ṣùgbọ́n lọ́wọ́ yìí ó dàbí pé wọ́n tún sọ wípé Tyson Fury ó tún máa tún padà sínú ríǹgì bàbá wa padà dé wọ́n ní Anthony Joshua ń lọ fẹ́ kojú o wọn ò tí ì mú déètì wọn ò tí ì mú oṣù wọn ò tí ì mú ọjọ́ wọn ò tí ì mú ọdún tí wọ́n jọ kojú ara wọn torí pé tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ni Tyson Fury ti kéde wípé òun ti fẹ̀yìntì lẹ́rọ̀ eré ìdárayá ẹ̀ṣẹ́ kíkan wọ́n ṣàdédé la tún gbọ́ o tí wọ́n sọ pé Tyson Fury tí wọ́n ní bó ti wà ń wọ́n ní ó dàbí pé yọ padà wá sórí ríǹgì o láti wá kojú Anthony Joshua wọ́n bí ó bá padà wá wọ́n lórí condition kan ló máa wà orí condition kan ló máa wà yàtà ló ń sọ Ricky Martin ọ̀rẹ́ mi nú Tyson Fury ni òun ẹ̀ṣẹ́ kíkan náà ló náà ń jà tàbá ń sọ nípa eré ìdárayá tó ń ṣe Ricky Martin ọba sọ ọ́ lónìí ṣe rí ọ̀rẹ́ òun tó mọ̀ dáadáa Tyson Fury tó mọ̀ dáadáa tí wọ́n jọ ń wọlé wọ̀de ọba jẹ́ pé yóò padà wá bá Anthony Joshua jà ọba jẹ́ pé yóò padà wá bá Anthony Joshua jà oníkẹ́ ti mọ̀ wípé owó kúnkúṣì ní gbogbo ẹ̀ máa bá dé o jẹ́ gbàgbé pé Alexander Usyk lọ́jọ́ pé ó pa Anthony Joshua nípa àpasọ ọjọ́ pé kò lè mí mọ́ ó fẹ́ lè má mí mọ́ kí n má sọ pé kò lè mí mọ́ ó fẹ́ lè má mí mọ́ nígbà tá Alexander Usyk tó pa dáadáa ńgbà náà ṣe rántí ìyẹn náà lọ pa bí ìgbà mẹ́ta tẹ̀léra wọn lè jẹ́ pé Tyson Fury wá nítọ́ ìmọ̀dé ìwá àsinmi ni wọ́n ń pè tí jókòó abẹ́ òkúta ẹbí náà ni wọ́n fẹ̀yìntì sí o lọ́ba fẹ̀yìntì ńgbà náà tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá gbàgbé wọ́n ní báyìí o wọ́n á sọ pé tí Tyson Fury tí wọ́n bá padà wá sórí ríǹgì wọ́n lóun àti Anthony Joshua ní ọjà lóun àti Anthony Joshua bá wá fẹ́ jà wọ́n lówó kúnkúṣì ní ọ̀bàdé o owó ńláńlá ní táìsì fún ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù shooting stars wọ́n tún lọ fìdí rẹmi ìyẹn lókè ìta ní gbogbo òpin ọ̀sẹ̀ yẹn ìlódé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ipò ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù sunshine stars náà sunshine stars tìlú àkúrẹ́ olóyè mẹ́kùn dòdò relegation kan ni à ń wọ̀ lọ yìí kọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn ṣàánú sunshine ooo orúkọ látúbọ̀sún ìyàwó Messi ó wà ń bí láàárọ̀ yìí àjọ̀dá kínní ọ̀hún bolẹ̀ ní tí gbogbo ọ̀ fi yéra wa dáadáa yóò sáré gbọ́n wa sí pápákọ̀ bó ṣe lọ sí sẹ̀ǹtẹ̀lẹ̀ lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ lẹ́yìn yẹn wà yìí a wà tẹ̀síwájú lórí ètò à ń lọ sílẹ̀ gẹ̀ẹ́sì ẹ̀ mọ́ gbàgbé àmàdó ilẹ̀-èdè France o nítorí pé ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù PSG lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí àwọn dàbí pé wọ́n ti gba líìgì yẹn náà wọ́n tún fàgbà hàn kò sọ́mọ náà tí ó jẹ́sọ̀ ń lò Òrókúndádé ń sọ o Òrókúndádé ní kò sọ́mọ náà tí ó jẹ́sẹ̀ fún ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù PSG ẹ má sì gbàgbé pé àwọn ló dẹ ojú ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Liverpool mọ́lẹ̀ ìyẹn nínú ìdíje ti UEFA Champions League lè jẹ́ pé lọ́wọ́ yìí wọ́n kò yẹn ràn wọ́n dáadáa lè jẹ́ pé ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Newcastle wọ́n tún lọ́ọ́ fìyà jẹ wọ́n ní final Carabao Cup ó ní agbára àpọ̀ fún ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Liverpool báyìí ó ti rẹ̀ wọ́n ní ṣé fatigue ti dé bọ̀ lápá abẹ̀yẹ onípa látúbọ̀sún ìyàwó Messi bò ní nǹkan láàárọ̀ yìí.
dáadáa ló wà ní abídí wa pẹ̀lú.
kádùpẹ́.
a kó ojú mọ́ o gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa ní gbogbo ibi tẹ́ ti ń gba káàkiri èmi ọmọ yín náà ni mo dúpẹ́ Ọlátúbọ̀sún nípa ti ìdíje tó wáyé.
àwọn NPFL matches tó wáyé.
NPFL tó wáyé ní òpin ọ̀sẹ̀. Enugu Rangers fi lákùlàkù ìyà jẹ Kwara United àmì ayò 3-0 Kano Pillars pẹ̀lú Nasarawa United àmì ayò 1-1 Rivers United lu Academy Warriors mọ́lé wọn pẹ̀lú àmì ayò 2-1 Akwa United fìyà jẹ Shooting Stars àmì ayò 2-0 Abia Warriors fàgbà wọn Bende Insurance àmì ayò 1-0 Bayelsa United fìyà jẹ Lobby Stars àmì ayò 1-0 Remo Stars dídìn dúyà fún Atland àmì ayò 2-0 ni Ìkòròdú City pẹ̀lú Eyimba ọmọ ayò 2-2 náà gbá tó bá di aago 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ òní àwọn Sunshine Star wọ́n á máa gbàlejò Plateau United.
àdúrà la máa bá Sunshine Stars gbà báyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti máa ń sọ nígbà gbogbo pé àdúrà ni a máa bá àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù tó wá jẹ́ tiwa ní apá ilẹ̀ kóòtù òjìrè ń bí àdúrà la máa bá wọn gbà. ẹ jẹ́ ká wá wo ti ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù kó tó di pé wọ́n pe bàbá wọlé jẹ́ ká jọ wò ó mo dúpẹ́ Látúbọ̀sún tí ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Shooting Stars yìí ìwọ ló ti ń tẹ̀lé wọn bọ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sísìn ó sì fẹ́ràn wọn bí nǹkan kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o sínú ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù yín o kí n pè lẹ́gbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù yín kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
gẹ́gẹ́ bí bàbá Ògúndádé àdúrà náà láti máa fi ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́.
Ògúndádé ìgbàdúrà o èmi ni mo máa ń gbàdúrà ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní wọ́n dájà lẹ̀ láàrin wa láàárọ̀ yìí èmi mo máa ń gbàdúrà èmi ni bàbá aládùà Ògúndádé ìgbàdúrà.
ibi tí ipò tí a bá Shooting Star yìí ó ṣe ní láàrin ṣùgbọ́n a ṣe máa lò wọ́n lọ́gọ̀ọ́yìn náà ní kí wọ́n jáwé sóbì o torí ìdíje tó máa wáyé ní òpin ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ àwọn la máa gbàlejò Shooting Star ló máa gbàlejò àwọn agbábọ́ọ̀lù tó fẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù. Niger Tornadoes ń bọ̀ nílé wọ́n ń bọ̀ ní Ìbàdàn láti wá kojú. so a máa lò wọ́n lọ́gọ̀ọ́ ẹni kán jáwé sóbì kán lè ná wọn dáadáa kí wọ́n tún lè sùn síwájú náà ni. tó pé ibi tí wọ́n wà yìí ó ṣe bákan
ó lágbára o nígbà téèyàn wà ní second position ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọdún yìí tó sì jẹ́ pé lọ́wọ́ tá a wà ní ìsìn ipò kẹfà wọn wà ọjọ́ tí ó dùn. Ìkòròdú City gan táwọn wò pé bóyá nǹkan wọ́n ti bọ́ sókè Shooting Stars. látàpá àti bẹ̀yẹ̀ ẹ̀yin olùgbọ́ wa ó jàre ẹ má gbàgbé láǹfààní láti pè wọlé lórí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí ní wọ́n bá ti pe nọ́mbà yẹn síta ó yẹ ní àǹfààní láti máa pè wọlé o nọ́mbà méjì lẹ́ láǹfààní láti pè wọlé lórí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí kí nígbà bá ṣí ojú òpó lẹ̀ ni o 08068724311 08068724311 08068724311 tàbí 08153308959 08153308959 nọ́mbà méjì tọwọ́ ọ̀dọ́ wa lórí ètò lórí ọ̀dọ̀ fún tàárọ̀ yìí nìyẹn. bóyá gbogbo àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tẹ́tí láǹfààní láti máa bá lórí ètò lórí ọ̀dọ̀ fún tàárọ̀ tòní ẹ máa pè wọlé o. fẹ́ jẹ́ kájọ sọ́nà bàbá Ògúndádé bàbá ẹlẹ́ni máyì bàbá lówó máyò bàbá ti wà ń kalẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. a sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù wọn náà Manchester United Richmond Oiland láti bí oṣù bíi mélòó kan báyìí kò gbá bọ́ọ̀lù wọnú àwọn o. Ọlọ́run ti bá ṣe yóò ti gbá 20 matches báyìí àbí kókù díẹ̀ kó wọ 20 matches tí ò ti gbá bọ́ọ̀lù kankan wọnú àwọn. Ọlọ́run bá ṣe ó gbá bọ́ọ̀lù wọnú àwọn lánàá. bàbá ẹ bá mi kí àwọn èèyàn nulẹ̀ àti ìdọ́dọ̀ máa ń yú o wọ́n má jẹ́ pé máa ń yú lẹ́mọ̀ fi sọ̀rọ̀ sí mi o.
kò sí ìwọ̀n mi ẹ̀ bá fi mí kọ́rọ̀ sọ.
eléyìí sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sọ.
ẹ káàárọ̀ o gbogbo ayé ẹ káàárọ̀ o gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn mo kí lọ pé mo kí lò bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ọmọdé àtàgbàlagbà kíkì mi bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí lọ́gàlọ́gà níléeṣẹ́ rédíò nàìjíríà ọ̀ wá pakí lórí bàbá Dominic ńgbà náà kọ́ọ̀pá
bá sọ ti ọtán ní ìsìn.
ìwọ tẹ bọ́tì lórí bàbá sọ́dọ̀ dàrẹ́tọ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sọ ti ọtán tẹ sọ ti àwọn.
wàhálà ìgbà àbágbé ọlọ sàbíṣà kọ́ fọwọ́ tọ́ mi mú.
ẹ sọ tàwọn ọ̀dà sẹ́mi àti yín ni àbí ọ̀yà àjọ.
tí n bá ti ń kí bàbá Dominic ìwọ tẹ bọ́tì tó o bá lọ sàbíṣà láàárọ̀ yìí fọwọ́ tọ́ mi mú.
ẹ bá kí tán kí yẹ ògìdàn tán tẹ káwọn gm tẹ máa kí tẹ kí wọn tán èmi àti yín ló kù ọ̀yà ẹ tẹ̀wájú.
òdùgbẹ́
àṣebájọ wà mí láàárọ̀ yìí ni.
ìyàwó fẹ́sì sórí pé ẹni tí ọmọ ìjírí láàárọ̀ yìí ó lágbára ìgbéraga ti pọ̀ jù.
àjọ wà mí láàárọ̀ ẹ̀sẹ̀ gbẹ́ wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀yà ẹ tẹ̀wájú.
ọ̀dà mo kí bàbá wa Dominic zonal director mo tí kì í mi dọ́dọ̀ ìyá ògìdàn títí díẹ̀ náà lóró ni mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin gf wa bàbá Akẹ́tọ́lá Paramount Steve Agbájé Amúlùdùn ẹ mọ̀ kú ìnáwó àná irú ẹ̀ láwọn rí ẹ̀ mà ṣe ń wo mo dẹ̀ kí àwọn tiwa lọ́sùn ní Gold FM Progress àti Positive ẹ̀ káàárọ̀ o àsábàárí mo kí gbogbo yín o mo dẹ́ nìkan sí ní platform wa ẹ̀ káàárọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tiwa tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa ní South West tí yín ò ní di ògùn
ẹ̀yin tí a ní platform ẹ̀yin water
ojú yín ò ní fọ́ etí yín ò ní di
ẹ̀yin water ẹ̀yin ẹ̀sìnké Man U
ó tiẹ̀ tó bàbá Òsèéní
ẹnu ẹ̀sìnké ti rọrùn díẹ̀díẹ̀ báyìí
ẹ̀rọ kí ló fẹ́ máa sọ tí nítorí pé ìkànsíìsì wà jẹ́ pé kò gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ òun náà ọmọ ọdún èèyàn tí mo jẹ́
ó ní ká ní sórí
ìbára àwọn ọkọ̀ omi tí mo kó ká ní ẹ̀sìnké Man U lákùrẹ́ kò gbọ́dọ̀ tí ìtùtùkùtù òun.
ọmọ ẹyẹ pọ̀ lápò nǹkan kan.
tí wọ́n wá gbá bọ́ọ̀lù méjì wọ́n wé ní adé a máa pe ara àgbà tí èsì pé agbájé ni tí wọ́n sáré lọ.
ọ̀dà kátẹ̀ tó lọ sápá bẹ̀yẹ.
ẹ
jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa káwálé ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù wa yìí ní South West. ẹ yá bẹ́ẹ̀ látòrí Shooting Stars. na ibi ọ̀rọ̀ wọn dé dúró ní ìsìn kí lọ́gbà kí la fẹ́ kí ni rúru ẹ̀ bọ̀.
ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Shooting Stars. àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀lé Shooting lọ sí Uyo wọ́n jẹ́ oyè ní pé ọfíìsì yẹn dàbí pé ó sapá kan jàmọ́ kókù díẹ̀ káàtó.
ṣé ó ti ń sapá kan jàmọ́ náà láti gbogbo matches.
tí ò jẹ́ fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ́pọ̀ náà ni pé ẹ̀rí pé mo rọra sọ ni àbáwọn èèyàn gbọ́.
gbọ́ ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ sọ ọjọ́ tẹ̀sí.
ìmọ̀ àtòwé mi lára rọra ń sọ jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ tó pè wá sórí ètò. ní tí mo wá fẹ́ fàyọ láàrin yẹn ni pé ṣe rí fatigue kò sí nǹkan tá a lè fi wé o.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
gbogbo bí wọ́n ṣe ń lọ káàkiri yẹn ẹ wo irú àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ma tí wọ́n ń ná tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ travel jet ni wọ́n lò láàrin ọgbọ̀n ìṣẹ́jú láàrin 45 minutes wọ́n ti débi wọn wúre. unlike Shooting Stars tó ṣe pé mọ́tò tó yọnu lójú ọ̀nà àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n gbà bọ́ọ̀lù alọ́gbà kan lókè ọ̀yà tó gbàbẹ̀ lọ sí ìsì agbábẹ̀ lọ.
airport wa tí wọ́n túnṣe lọ́wọ́ ni jet náà ni wọ́n bá máa lò. wọ́n tún airport wa ń bàdàn bí ṣe àní jet ni wọ́n bá máa lò.
wàá ṣètò fún jẹ́ kí ẹni tí ó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ jẹ́ kó dìde kó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ má bàtí ajẹ́ ò lè kó bá wa ní tí mo fẹ́ fàyọ láàrin yẹn ni pé fatigue ti pọ̀ jù ó ti pọ̀ jù tó bá dàbí ẹ wò mélòó ni ọjọ́ orí àwọn ọmọ yìí kétọ́ ni wọ́n máa fi wàhálà sí lóòótọ́ wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọn ni owó ni wọ́n ń gbà lóòótọ́ kì í ṣe pé bóyá ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ̀n bá ní wàhálà dùn mọ́ lóde ayé irú ẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Liverpool náà tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe kankan tí wọ́n ń lé kọ́ọ̀pù mẹ́rin papọ̀ awí fún wọn gbà náà wọn ò gbọ́ orí ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ koko láwo bá wí fún ọmọ ẹni ọ̀yẹ́ kọ́ gbọ́.
méjì lórí kọ́ṣọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn báwọn láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ kan.
iye ọmọ méjì ni ìdí ẹ̀ ń pariwo pé pọ́ìntì máàcì márùn-ún ni ẹ fi ń lì di Arsenal bẹ́ẹ̀ máa sọ fẹ́.
ẹ̀túndé ò ní èyí o
ibẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ ni mò ń rè lórí ọ̀rọ̀ títí mọ̀kàn yàbàrá síbẹ̀ yẹn káwọn ọmọ Liverpool ó ti máa forí jáná lóde ayé ni wọ́n bá ti ń gbọ́rọ̀ ní ìsìn. ẹ̀yin mo fẹ́ fà yẹn ni pé
ẹ ń gbọ́ o ẹ mọ̀ bọ́rọ̀ Shooting Stars Shooting Stars là ń sọ.
àwọn máa rojọ́ mi káàkiri.
àlọ́rọ̀ Shooting Stars ẹ mọ̀ bọ́rọ̀.
olùgbẹ́ta lọ́gbọ̀n tá à ń sọ.
nígbà bá débẹ̀ yẹn ẹ̀yin náà máa gbúrò ara yín.
etí mo fẹ́ fàyọ láàrin yẹn ni pé kíjọba ìpínlẹ̀ wa ń bí tó dàbí ìkọ́ jẹ́ olórí gbogbogbò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ sport ni àti gbogbo à ń jẹ́ olórí number one citizen ní gbogbo state kan dàkún ká tètè bá wa dá sí tó wá ṣe pé bóyá owó ni wọ́n fẹ́ kù díẹ̀ káàtó especially lórí ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́tò tí wọ́n ń lò wọ́n á ṣe pé tuntun ni ọ̀wọ́n ipò àbá ìrúwúrà Ọ̀yọ́ state ọ̀wá lówó lọ́wọ́ láti ra mọ́tò tuntun fún Shooting Stars ni ẹ̀yin fáǹsì náà ìdákun ẹ̀ mọ́ wòran tí bẹ́ńlẹ̀ yìí kọjá.
ó sì jẹ́ pé kí wọ́n fọkọ̀ kó àwọn wọ́n tẹ̀lé wọ training gan láti bẹ̀ lọ sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n bá dẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kí wọ́n gbé plane so burú jù ni.
kò burú jù ìnáwó di méjì ń gbò ṣe páàyè ń bẹ ń bì láti dàbí pé kí.
lóòótọ́ wọ́n ń ṣe airport lọ́wọ́.
lójú ọ̀nà náà ń ṣe àmọ́ ṣe ní pápá.
runway wọ́n ti gbogbo bẹ̀ náà pa náà ni láti jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́
wọ́n lè dìkú
torí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ́dà international airport.
ó ti dá already.
wọ́n fẹ́ túnṣe wọbẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tí mo wá ń sọ ni pé ọ̀rọ̀ ọkọ̀ yẹn ó ṣe pàtàkì àwọn ọmọ ò lè máa wọkọ̀ láti Ìbàdàn bí
kí wọ́n ní ọjọ́ Friday kan ní Katsina wọ́n gbéra lọ́jọ́ Thursday òru ni wọ́n dé síbi tí wọ́n ń rè wákàtí mélòó wọn wà fi sùn wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ṣe light training láàárọ̀ wọn ó ṣe ní ìrọ̀lẹ́ so mi ò rí àwọn players bú kódà mi ò rí coach bú o torí èèyàn lè ntẹ́yàn bá nílé èèyàn máa ná ní ntẹ́yàn ò ní èèyàn ò lè fún yàn nǹkan tí mo rí láàrin yẹn nìyẹn pẹ̀lú ìjọba lèmi ó fi ẹ̀sùn yẹn kankan tètè bá mi gbọ́ mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé létí gbárùyé ni àwọn aláṣẹ wa wọn ó tètè ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó bá yẹ.
ọ̀dà ẹ wá jẹ́ ká wo ti ọ̀rọ̀ shooting stars yẹn náà mo ṣe wà ká wo pé ṣé ó ní àwọn ọmọ kan tó ti rẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sí general fatigue tẹ́ ń sọ ní ìsìn ṣó láwọn ọmọ kan tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò tàbí elégbé mọ́ láàrin shooting yẹn tó jẹ́ pé ó yẹ kó
ọ̀sọ́ ọmọ tí ò tàbí elégbé n tó dòde ló ní kárí òun làlúrí tó dé tí fatigue fi pọ̀ ló kó bá gbogbo wọn lápapọ̀ kò sí ìtọ́ rẹ̀ nínú wọn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní ìsinsìnyí defense wa ni ká máa sọ̀rọ̀ bá ni akọ́nimọ̀ọ́gbà ibi tó ti lọ kó àwọn ọmọ yẹn wá nìkan ló yé gan pàápàá ibo gan iṣẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ bọ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ torí tó bá lọ àwọn ọmọ tí ó tún bá rìn gan wọn ó tún dàbí pé wọ́n kà sí ara mélòó ni ìjọba dàbí ìfọ́nráyè ẹsẹ̀ mọ̀pọ̀ náà ìjọba pọ̀ sóun náà ni ó tún máa wá players náà ni ó tún máa wá àwọn alámòjútó tí ó máa ṣe ṣùgbọ́n mo rò fáwọn management gan ò kígbe tó lórí ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́tò.
ọ̀ya ẹjẹ́ àwọn ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù
torí wọn ò jẹ́ wọ́n lówó oṣù náà wọn ò lè lọ ṣé tìtorí pé wọ́n fẹ́ láti
bẹ́ndẹ̀ yìí sí àbí ṣé bẹ́ndẹ̀ wọn fẹ́ gbá lónìí.
bẹ́ndẹ̀ kan
Plateau United ni wọ́n fẹ́ bá gbá lónìí.
níta ní fẹ́ bá gbá.
Sunshine ni mo fẹ́ sọ jàre Sunshine.
ẹ jẹ́ ká ka ìyẹn lẹ̀ fún Sunshine Ọlọ́run lè jẹ́ wọn lọ sí relegation bí wọ́n tiẹ̀ lọ wọn na Plateau.
bí wọ́n lọ ẹni tí mo wá ń sọ nìyẹn pé ṣé kìí ṣe ẹnìlẹ̀
omi ti tẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ̀ sílẹ̀ Sunshine pọ̀ èmi ò mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn fans ní Àkúrẹ́ tó fi dàbí ìpín wọn lè.
ẹ ṣe fans ni ọ wà bá wọn bọ́ sórí pápá.
ẹlẹ́rù ni ó gbé bí ó ti wúwo ẹwọ̀rọ̀ shooting stars tó bá dàbí ìpó dojú ẹ̀ bá ṣe máa ṣe lórí pápá tó ti yé níbẹ̀ ní ìsìn bí gbé bá pọ̀ tí gbé bá pọ̀ ìjọba tí ọ̀rá ayè yọ ọ̀rá ayè ń gbòòṣe pé ti múnú ara ayé dùn nìyẹn tí a máa fi wọn kírètì kankan méjì ìdùnnú ti sport yẹn fún wa lọ tí a bá dẹ̀ dàbí pé wọ́n tó lọ mú yẹn kú nbẹ Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí èdè òyì padà o torí ibi bí bá fẹ́ yí ẹ̀dá lórí ìsọkúsọ lókù tí ọmọ sọ lẹ́yìn.
ó dà jẹ́ àwọn top 4 NPFL yẹn Remo Stars 7 points Rivers United 49 points Rangers International àwọn sáré wá síbẹ̀ wọ́n gba 45 points mọ́ ikọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù shooting lọ́wọ́ Ìkòròdú náà ti gba 45 náà mọ́ shooting lọ́wọ́ torí pé shooting lọ́yẹ̀ kọ́ wà nírú ipò kan nínú àwọn méjèèjì yẹn ní ìsìn tábà ní aṣọ.
ní 3 and 4 yẹn.
ní 3 and 4 kódà ó yẹ kí shooting gan wà ní 2 náà kò burú jù.
ìwé ibi mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tí a lọ tẹ̀lé wọ́n lùsì. wọ́n àlè draw mú bọ̀.
Remo Stars.
ṣé Remo Stars ti gba league kì í ṣe draw lágbáni àtọ̀wọ́n ìníjọ́ yẹn náà.
draw náà ni ṣé Remo Stars ti gba league ọdún yìí.
kò sí nǹkan tá a ṣe sí o because gbogbo nǹkan ló pèsè wọn lọ àwọn ọmọ pé owó ọ̀jẹ̀ wọn yà nǹkan ìrìnsẹ̀ ọ̀jẹ̀ wọn yà yíbọn nǹkan ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ̀gàn ọ̀jẹ̀ wọn yà gan pàápàá.
ní gbogbo líìgì orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ní ìsìn Remo Stars ní ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù àkọ́kọ́ wọ́n ní stadium tiẹ̀ Remo Stars ní ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù àkọ́kọ́ báyìí tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa lo LED screen fún gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ mọ́ àwọn àwòrán tí wọ́n máa display ní ẹgbẹ́ fíìdì tí ó máa dàbí pé wọ́n fi ń polówó ọjà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ orí pápá gangan
tí a máa gbé
lẹ̀ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ orí ọ̀dàn gangan.
ẹni yẹn mẹ́rin business ń tiẹ̀ tó bá ṣe pé.
ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Remo Stars nísìnyí wọ́n ti ṣe sí pápá àṣírí wọn ní kẹ̀nẹ́ tó yẹ pé.
ìyẹn gan tó máa fẹ́ invite àlejò wọ̀lú gan tí gbogbo nǹkan àmúyẹ tó jẹ́ nǹkan kò sí mọ́ ní.
LED screen wọ́n máa display gbogbo àwọn èyí tí a máa fi canopy ṣe tó jẹ́ pé tójò bá rọ̀ wáyé Nàìjíríà wà. tó jẹ́ pé tójò bá ti rọ̀ báyìí bàbá ẹ rántí bí afẹ́fẹ́ ṣe máa bí atẹ́gùn ṣe máa ń fẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo igi tí wọ́n fi kàn lẹ́yìn báyìí ni wọ́n yanu kàkàkà báyìí síta. èyí sọ̀rọ̀ ìbú ara ẹ̀jẹ̀ aṣọ bàbá ẹ jẹ́ àsọ síta tá a bá sọ síta ní ìsìn àwọn tí wọ́n bá yẹ kí wọ́n gbọ́ wọn gbọ́.
wọ́n lè gbé
gbèsè níbi ayé lajúdé ó yẹ kí àwọn stadium wa ti mọ ní LED screen náà sí sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ orí
kọ́ńtàtì tí wọ́n sì gbé fún náà nígbà wọn bá fẹ́ gbé ilẹ̀ kí wọ́n dákun wọn mọ́ bàtì àjẹ́ àwọn kọ̀ǹtráktọ̀ ni mo mí ni wọ́n mọ́ bàtì àjẹ́ kọ́ mọ́ ní pé nígbà wọn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣẹ́ wọ́n máa tán kó wò tó wọn gbogbo nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ máa fa orílẹ̀-èdè sẹ́yìn ni.
ọ̀dà ẹ jẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú à ń sọ nípa ẹ̀kọ́ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Remo Stars lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yí báyìí o nínú gbogbo òfigagbága ọlọ́lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ̀jẹ̀ 57 points báyìí ni wọ́n ti ní ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Rivers tó tún tẹ̀lé wọn 49 points ẹ jẹ́ àwọ̀ bóyá Rivers náà lè gbìyànjú kí àwọn náà kí wọ́n bá Remo Stars ṣùgbọ́n kò fẹ́ẹ̀ lè possible kí n ṣe ìbò lápá bẹ́ẹ̀.
sílẹ̀ mọ́ lóyún ní àbí wọ́n mọ̀ bọ́ wọ́n mọ̀ báyàwó wọn tán àbámọ̀ náà tọwọ́ bomi tá a máa kí wọn kú ọwọ́ lómi.
ọyẹ́ látẹ̀kọ́ àti bẹ́yẹn ẹ jẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú ká máa lọ sílé òkèèrè lọ́wọ́ kan náà ikú ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan wọ́n máa kojú ara wọn lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ yẹn nínú ìdíje ti Premier League English Premier League lọ EPL ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Everton wọ́n tẹ ọ̀mì pẹ̀lú ikú ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù West Ham United ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Ipswich Town àwọn náà fìdí rẹmi nílé ara wọn àwọn Nottingham Forest ló lọ ká wọn mọ́lé àmì ayò 4-2 ènìyàn fìfìyà jẹ wọn o ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Nottingham Forest àṣeyọrí ńláńlá ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí nísinsìnyí tó jẹ́ pé Champions League ó tiẹ̀ ti ṣú ọ̀kun wọn ná.
eré ni àwàdà ni gbogbo tí máa ṣe kú ní ìsinsìnyí ojú mẹ́jọ lọ.
tọ́ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Man City Guardiola ó tún fi ìkókùkò ó tún kó bọ́jú ara rẹ̀ lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ Brighton ló tún wá ká a mọ́lé tí wọ́n tún jọ ta ọ̀mì tútù ó ní ìfigagbága yẹn padà bá dé.
orí ló yọ Man City gan.
orí kan ló tún yọ Man City tó yẹ pé wọn ò tún fàgbà hàn wọn. ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Arsenal lánàá wọ́n gbá wọn nù pẹ̀lú ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù Chelsea. Emirates ni wọ́n ti gbá
òkè ní òkè láwà Amuludun FM ìtàwọn Yorùbá 99.1 ní òkè láwà kápolówó ọjà kájẹ́ bùgbàjẹ́ ní òkè láwà ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ tó lọ́lọ́kọ̀ wà ní òkè láwà orí agbọ́dúnú gbígbà ṣàlàyé.